Hey guys, welcome back to Silent Hill 2. We are going down into the abyss. So, we are one bar higher on the brightness scale because it is quickly going to become very dark soon, even more so than it's already been, and it's going to be very difficult to see anything even with our flashlight. Alright, so let's check out some of the things in the Historical Society. A photo is hanging here. Whilst coal mine. There probably used to be a painting here. Only the explanation remains. Waterfront landscape. Alan Smith. Date of birth and death unknown. A scene of this area from long ago. From the style, it looks like it was done sometime around 1820. There were a lot fewer people then and only a handful of buildings. And here we go with the main one. Gasp! It's him! Misty Day, Remains of the Judgment. It's him. There he is. Pyramid Head in all his full glory. So if you look at the background, you see those are bodies hanging in cages suspended from some type of roof. You also see he has a spear here, which is different from the great knife that he had before in the previous boss fight. Yep, this is the spear he used to kill Maria. And this is actually a little hint of something that you're gonna encounter in a little while in the game. Oh, and we got more stuff now. There's nothing useful written on them. There's nothing particularly special about this photograph. Although if you look closely, it actually looks kind of like a Civil War photograph with soldiers in it. Now here's an important one. Here, Brookhaven Hospital, 1880. We were just there, weren't we? This hospital was built in response to a great plague that followed a wave of immigration to this area. It was originally little more than a shack, but it gradually grew and grew. So that's pretty cool. It was originally just one single building, and a small building at that, but they gradually built more and more around it until it became this huge building. It's also interesting because you can see it started off as a regular health hospital, and then gradually at some point it got turned into a mental hospital. A photo of the director of the old Brookhaven Hospital. It looks like he was a famous person in town. So I'm always curious whether this was the first director of the hospital, or if he's the director of the hospital that we'll meet in the Silent Hill 2 bonus game with Maria. Ernest Baldwin. They never really explain that which one of the guys he is. There is a photo of a deep, deep hole. What could this be? Yeah, so there's the game foretelling your future a little bit. And here is an item that we can examine, but we're not going to pick up. It's one of the bonus items in the game. It's called the Obsidian Goblet. And we're not going to pick it up because if we do, we can't pick up the Crimson Ceremony later on. If you pick up all 4 items, it'll trigger one of the bad endings of the game. So we don't want to do that. But it's basically a ceremonial goblet used in occult ceremonies, I guess. Sacrificial rituals is something that's used during some type of magical ceremony. But again, we can't pick it up because otherwise we can't pick up later on the more interesting bonus object. You also notice there's what sounds to be like some type of ship horn sounding out in the distance. So yeah, we are going underground now. So not a bad little building. I wish there was actually more of it because it seems pretty small to be a historical society. But oh well. So how was your day today? Man, the other day on Sunday sucked. We didn't have enough people. There was a ton of people in the store before the rush of closing. Like even at 6 o'clock, people were still getting in, even though the store was damn closed. And then we had to track down a whole bunch of online orders too while trying to manage all that craziness. It was horrible. And then the day before yesterday sucked even worse. We didn't have enough people. We had a huge ton of online orders. And again, this is not enough time to get everything done. So those 2 days sucked like hell. This is a long way down. So for those who haven't played the game before, do you think that we're actually going underground here, or is this just some kind of dimensional warping the way we've already seen with other locations? Where you go in one place and you end up another. I just remembered we never picked up the box in the storage room at the hospital. It's too late now. There's no going back. No wonder we were running low on ammo and health. We didn't pick up the damn 5 items that were in the bonus box. Yeah, that would have helped a lot. It's better this way. Makes the game more of a challenge. Some kind of document is lying here. September 11, 1820. Prisoner number C221. I can't read the rest. What is this? So we're obviously in some type of prison because this is a prison log. Here's our first aid kit. How much are we in terms of ammo? How much do we have? Alright, so we got 71 handgun bullets, 49 shells, 16 rifle shells. That should be enough, especially since it looks like we got 12, count them, 12 first aid kits, 9 health drinks, and an ampule, so hopefully that'll be enough. I'll move the brightness up even higher. We actually can't see anything here. Because like I said, it's funny, even though when you look at the brightness settings, it looks like it's really bright, but then when you actually play the game, it is very dark in here. Like, holy shit, you can barely see anything even with the flashlight. Oh, and here they come. You can hear the roaches already. Yeah, as soon as that guy comes in, I'm gonna gun him down with the shotgun. Here he comes. Oh, he went past me. We've already seen the roaches are the real threat because they can take away a huge chunk of your health. Even though they're such little enemies. Oh. Damn, almost ran. Yeah, got you, you little motherfucker. Yeah, it's funny how the big, large enemies aren't really as tough as the roaches that can just nibble away at your shoes and take away huge chunks of your health. This is a really old prison. Look at the style of this. Those old bars anywhere, those old bars everywhere, the rust, the minimal construction style. So this is a really cool painting here. A painting is hanging here. A banquet for the gods. So that's actually a reference to the Crimson Ceremony, which we'll be getting later on. And this photo was actually used in a supplemental material by the team, showing you a bit of the background of the town. If you can see there, it's difficult to see with the PS2 graphics, but there's basically two priests clad as executioners, so they have the white robes. They have red triangular hoods. Where have we seen that before? So they have red triangular hoods, and they're basically conducting a sacrifice for the gods of the hometown. So that kinda gives you a hint of what Pyramid Head is. And here we have another one. A photo is hanging here. Death by skewering. An execution at the prison. Death by skewering or strangling. To choose his death is the prisoner's last taste of freedom. So that's pretty horrible, isn't it? The last ounce of freedom you ever get before they kill you is choosing how they're going to kill you. A photo is hanging here. Toluca Prison Camp. Built during the Civil War, later became Toluca Prison. So Pyramid Head is one of those characters that always causes a lot of controversy. A lot of people claim he's just there to torment James for reasons we'll see later on, but I don't know. I always think of him as more as a part of the town. Like, I think because we've already gotten hints of some other people seeing him. You know, we saw the Brookhaven Hospital director claiming he saw him at the Historical Society. So I think he's actually more of a part of the town. I like to think of him as more a spirit that takes a different form depending on the person that they're tormenting. You know, I don't think he's just there for one singular man. because we're getting all this background on him. You can also see that he's basically based off one of the executioners of the prison camp back during the Civil War. And he's also partially based off the priest of the order that runs the town. So he comes from a variety of different sources. We got more handgun bullets. The thing is that even though this is brutal, sorry for the prisoners who were stuck there during the Civil War, because this is Maine, and we know what kind of prisoners were probably stored there. They were Confederate prisoners. And you know, I guess you're supposed to feel some sympathy for them, like the people running the prison camp are brutal. You know, they give you two brutal choices for how you're going to die, either skewering or strangling, but I don't know, I just find that with all the crap going on today, all the crap certain people keep stirring up, I find it very difficult to have any sympathy for these Confederate prisoners who were held there. Because if I were honest, if I were there in that time period, in that town, and I was one of the God-fearing people from that religious order who hated slavery and thought it was against their God, or gods in this case, and I were in that prison camp, I'd probably be doing the same thing. Just putting on that hood and going to town on the worst of the Confederate. Like seriously, as brutal as that is, I'd probably be doing the same thing if I were part of the order. So yeah, I don't really feel too much sympathy for the people who were held there. It's funny, throughout the whole series, the order is kind of bad to say the least. Some members are worse than others, some are more bad than others, but this is probably one of the few respectable things the order has actually done in Silent Hill. Because yeah, those guys deserve no mercy. I always hear the argument, son of a bitch. Oh, come on, James, reload. Damn freak. I always hear the argument, oh, they were Americans too, oh, we should respect and honor their sacrifice. Oh, bullshit. Those guys knew what they were doing. They knew what they were signing up for, and they knew the cause they were fighting for was wrong. They just didn't care. So yeah, it makes it very, very hard for me to have any sympathy for them whatsoever. To me, they're traitors. That's all they are. Filthy, dirty, rotten traitors who got exactly what they... Now, was the Union Army perfect? Nope. They had some barbaric jackasses there too. But it's like the Jesse James story, where they go on and on about how, oh, his brother was... I think his brother was killed by one of the Union soldiers, and one of his sisters was raped or something like that, or his family got tormented by them, whatever. But it's like they build you up with a sympathetic background, and then they say, oh well, yeah, he had this sympathetic background, but then his answer was to go out and rob and kill about 100 people. So yeah, like, no, Jesse James, it does not compute. Like, just because they were bad to your family and did some crimes for which they should have paid, doesn't mean, or it didn't mean, that you got to be a jackass and go out and screw everybody else. Nope. Especially considering your so-called noble cause was slavery. Like, that just makes you suck even worse. And here's the large hole we got, and here's the large hole we saw in the beginning in that painting. So we are going down. By the way, a quick question before we go down. Which of the deaths would you actually choose? If you were in there in that prison and you had to be executed in a couple days, which death would you choose? Would you choose death by skewering or strangling? See, I'm kind of tempted to choose skewering because it will be quick, but it will be more quick, but at the same time it'll probably be more painful. Whereas strangling, it'll suck, but at least eventually you just lose consciousness and die. So I don't know which of the two is actually worse. I'll tell you one thing though, I don't want to choose hanging because hanging actually breaks your neck when you fall from that scaffold. And if it doesn't happen correctly, which has happened a lot of times in history, you're gonna feel it painful as fuck. So no hanging for me. The hole's dark and I can't see anything. Will you jump down? Yes, why not? Jump down into a hole that's probably 1,000 feet long. Yeah, James, look at it. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing else there. You have to jump down. I like how he braces himself, as if he actually has any chance of surviving a 100-foot plus fall. And if this were any other situation, he probably wouldn't. But you can see, this ain't no regular town. So it looks like we're now in a well here. We had a huge snowfall, actually. A lot of snow. Usually they exaggerate with these things, like the last time they said, oh, there's gonna be a lot of snow. There was basically crap. It was all wet snow that they didn't accumulate. This one dumped a lot of snow. It's gonna take a while for all that to go away. They said there's another one coming up too next week, another nor'easter. Again, it's just a wall. It'll be impossible to climb this. No shit, James. Unless you were Spider-Man, then he could climb out of it. Although knowing this town, if you actually try to climb up this thing, you'll probably keep going on forever. Up until the roof. You know, there actually won't be an opening you can climb out from. Just this dark void over it. So we gotta find some way to break through here. Somewhere to bust through this place. But this is different. Just this spot here feels different than a normal wall. I wonder if I could somehow break it. Alright, time to get a trusty pipe handy. We can actually use the guns, the firearms to break through this, but why would you waste bullets on a wall? Not only that, but if in real life you actually try to shoot that, the bullet will probably ricochet back at you and kill you, so let's just use the old pipe. Oh, I wanted to strike it overhead again. Wow, so there was this whole door hidden behind those bricks. Oh, here they come. Freaks. Oh, there's nowhere to go. Yeah, the tricky thing is to basically shoot them before they get back. I mean, stop them before they get back up. Son of a bitch. Those guys move quick. And I gotta heal or else one more hit and I'm done for. I don't know, should I use a first aid kit? Yeah, I guess. Might as well use this one too. You know, who knows what's in this stuff. We're probably poisoning ourselves little by little, but Gotta stay alive. So it looks like we're now in some type of flooded passageway. Some kind of flooded passageway. Underground, probably. Or is it just that the prison is completely flooded? How far underground do you think we are, guys? A few hundred feet? A few thousand feet? And all this was under the Little Historical Society. Or is it? It's funny, even though I know most of the doors that open in this game, I still have to test them now and then just to show you exactly which ones are broken and which ones you can access. There is a door at the bottom. The door is locked. So we need some type of key for that. And if you notice, we're actually upside down. Look at that. Those aren't windows or part of the displays of the prison. They're actually doors. So you can see reality is kind of starting to shift a little bit. There's the fluorescent light, or is it a halogen light? I'm not sure, but yeah, those are doors on the sides of the building. Now this is one of the rooms I absolutely hate. There's nothing here at all. There's nothing here at all. Look at the keypad there. Look at the key. So you think it's absolutely safe, right? There's absolutely nothing here in this room that can threaten you, right? No threat whatsoever.